Let me tell you about one of the best weapons in DST, and really all you need to know. As you can see here, I have two different weapons. One in my hand, this Tentacle Spike, and the Spear. The Spear is easily the easiest one to create, simply because you really just go to your crafting thing, you go to weapons, and you create it. Very simple, doesn't require all too many resources. Hold on, this guy is annoying me. Alright, and you're about to see a perfect example as to how to attain these Tentacle Spikes. This tentacle is very weak, it's actually so much so that I could probably take it on myself. There you go. And by defeating these, they actually drop Tentacle Spikes. These are one of the easiest weapons to get alongside the Spear, and they are absolutely insane because they do great amounts of damage. As you can see here, they do 51 damage, they have decent durability, and like I said, they're very easy to get. Not to mention that running particular mobs that you don't want to defeat yourself, basically through this area, is a great way to defeat them. Now that it's winter, when Deerclops arrives, you can basically run Deerclops through here. It'll do an immense amount of damage to him, and boom bam, thank you ma'am. In fact, not only will it do damage to him, it's an easy way to get him killed. It's genuinely as simple as that. You can do the same process with hounds. Basically, the Tentacle Spikes will fight the hounds, and fight Deerclops, and fight any boss, actually, that you want, and you'll simply reap the benefits of it. You'll get the rewards from whatever it defeats, and you'll also get the Tentacle Spikes and Tentacle Spots, well, from any tentacles that lose the battle. So it's a bit of a win-win. So just like this, you run over the Tentacle Spikes while you have hounds chasing you, or Deerclops chasing you, or any boss that you really want, or when your friends are chasing you, which is really funny, you can get them killed too, and then you can get their loot, but it's literally as easy as that. Alright, and with the methods that I've talked about, you can genuinely get more Tentacle Spikes than you will know what to do with, which is insane. It means you never have to waste any resources, basically, on materials like weapons, because you'll have a stockpile of them. The issue will genuinely be storage rather than anything else, which is obviously a good problem to have. You also do have a bunch of other different weapons, and look, some of them are good, some of them are bad, but look, in my own opinion, I genuinely think the Tentacle Spikes are probably the easiest option that still provides, incredible value. Blow darts and all these things are absolutely fantastic, but they're very costly, which I think is a big issue. The pan flute is also a really good weapon, but once again, somewhat costly. If you do find them naturally, by all means, they are great. They put your enemies to sleep. Hound spikes, good in limited degrees. And actual weapons like this, to be honest, they're more gimmicky than anything else. This is quite literally a resource that actually slowly expires and decays itself when not in use, so I don't really necessarily think that it's that good. Genuinely, I think that the Tentacle Spike is just the most worth it. The absolute greatest one for value, especially considering you can attain them with no skill and no effort. You simply run the foes that you want dead through those tentacles, and you simply attain them like that. But yes, all these other things are a little bit gimmicky and, sometimes require rare resources, where Tentacle Spikes, absolutely insane, really good, and you can still get them very early on. Now, this wouldn't be fully complete if I didn't talk about armor. Look, hay armor, especially when you're in the very beginning of the game, nice and easy to get. Then I would recommend wood. Wood is also very good, and ultimately is probably the armor that you should stick to. It's pretty easy to make, and it offers insane value. Yes, a marble suit technically would be considered an upgrade, although it does slow you down, so in some degrees it's a bit of a downgrade, especially if you're kiting any enemies. There are times where you'd want to use a marble suit, for example if you know that you just need to tank hits. So for example, if you're fighting the Lion King in summer, that could be a good use out of it. The other thing is, hat like this, football helmet, great value. Always have one of these on standby. As you can see, I have one down here, and basically if you know you're about to get in combat, you flick this thing on, and yeah, easy to get, great value. Log suit and this are the essence of armor when it comes to weapons. Spear at the very beginning, but then as soon as you can, swap to the Tentacle Spikes, and that's honestly it. Yes, there's a lot more options available, but that is genuinely the essence of it. No need to complicate it.